Hello, my name is Donkey. I still remember the first time I got a VR. It was in early June of 2020 during the pandemic. I was a bit bored, so I got myself a VR as it was a new technology that I was super excited to try out. And one of the first games I got on VR is Rec Room, and I really poured my heart into this game for all of 6 years. I played it. My first day in this game was June 19th of 2020. It was a warm summer day, and I still remember what I did on that first day. I went into paintball. It was the spillway map, and I played there, and it's just one of my first Rec Room memories, being able to play paintball in VR, play a game that seemed so real life, but all from the comfort of my own home. And I was just hooked on this game from here. Going into my photos, I could see that my first photo was taken on June 30th of 2020 in Freeze Tag game by the creator Draconem603. This was one of my favorite games back in 2020. I really just love playing these fun kind of competitive games like Freeze Tag game or paintball, where all I'd have to do is go and tag someone or get someone out, because I've always loved the desire to win. So, my friends back then are still people I remember. My good friend Mr. CV2 was my first real Rec Room friend. He used to go by 1018, and we have been friends for around 6 or 5 years, which is just really nice to know that I've known some of these people for this long. So, as I went into later 2020, I started picking up the Maker Pen a bit. Of course, a lot of my pen skills were more based upon building art. I used to draw a lot on the Maker Pen, and used to create things based off of games I love. I used to create Mario. I'm seeing if I have anything from here. Not, and I also love to create inventions, albeit the fact that these inventions may not have been the most technically good. They still hold a place in my heart. My first invention was just like a cookie with chips throughout, something kind of like this. As I went into 2021, I started desiring to build more complex rooms, although the fact most of these wouldn't end up getting finished. Still remember that one of the first games I wanted to make was a game about balls, balls and a kingdom around them. This game didn't end up being finished, but I still have many of the prototypes for it. Going back to the gaming side, we see that the first game I really loved in Rec Room was called Medieval Warfare PvP by the creator Blue, who was really just a great guy, and I played it for many years. The first time I recall playing the game is in 2021, back when I wore an outfit which was kind of like this. This is what my outfit used to be back in the day, and I made a lot of good friends there who you can play with. My friend Timmy Turner, who also used to go by Jake. We're friends for 2-ish years, and I still remember how I used to always team up with him in the game and make alliances. And my friend Pi, who came back recently. I always love it when he used to hop on and we just play that game together, Medieval Warfare PvP. I also loved several other games around that time. Burger Time 2 by Squirrelador was one of my all-time favorites, and is still a really fun game to play and bit on the funnier side. And of course, you can't forget the fact that I started to meet my creator friends back then. My first friend who I really created with, who I met back then, was Alexa Moo, who I met in Medieval Warfare. She is a creator who created a bunch of games you may know. I think the most famous is Below Freezing, which I liked playing back in the day, and this led me to create my first map, Medieval Clash, I believe is what it's called, PvP, which was very closely based off of Medieval Warfare. PvP, I also used to call Openia, was its working title, and spent around 2 weeks working on that project. I started with houses and then ended up building it up. It was a large and honestly rudimentary map, but I still remember how excited I was when I finally published it and was hoping that I get a lot of visitors and it will end up becoming a big game like the games I used to see and the games I used to play in. I then wasn't playing as much, sadly. I did not play as much in 2022 and 2023 besides the same games like Medieval Warfare. Clash of Kingdoms was another game I used to play a lot back then, and some friends I met there, I had my friend group from 2021 continue playing, and I met some new friends. My friend Jack, who sadly stopped playing, my friend Faithful Puppy, who again sadly stopped playing. I just had a great time when I did end up playing, and then 2023, I took a month-long sabbatical from this game, but when I came back was when I really started getting invested into this game. I got a new outfit, which looked something like this, and what really hooked me onto this game was the idea of meeting RecTubers. I watched their videos and desired to meet a lot of them. Like, remember I've met like Bofaya. I was one of my like clearest memories from back then at RecCon 2023, the first RecCon I attended. I just had a great time hearing all the panels, especially the one with Gribbling and Crash Faster, which was just a very interesting panel to attend. My friends, like, I met my friend Teddy in around September 2023. Same with my friend Maximo, who I love building with him. He's one of my build partners, and then what happened is I ended up meeting Pow, who, if you don't know, is a former developer for the video game and a RecTuber / RecTalker, and ended up becoming a big fan of hers and started investing more time into her community, which is where I met several of my close friends like DQ, who is on the camera, so shout out to DQ for doing this camera work, Tornado, LED Gamer, Dynasty, Nugget, and Smash Master, and Macaroni, who a lot of the people I still play with to this very day. So I also began to start creating more, as of course my desire to become more recognized in this game led to me starting using my Maker Pen more. I didn't really publish many rooms back then, but me and my friend Inun published a Panera map, which was just like a fun Panera map. I still remember creating it. I think I spent 24-ish hours on that game, which very excited about that I spent so much time on a game, and it was at that point my best game yet. It was just fun to like see how everything worked together. Like we had working driving systems, sinks, everything meshed together very well. And then going into 2024, you could see that I started creating more. I got access to Rec Room Studio, which is the way of developing in this game through Unity, around February 2024. Around then, I wore a more modernized outfit. I ended up later switching to this outfit, but this is the one which I wore around 2024. And I also started to get more invested into RecNet, creating images and posting them on RecNet. I believe I have made a few posts on there which gained traction, which I was very happy about and just gave me further motivation to play this game. And then I really started creating more around April 2024. I partnered with my friend Maximo, who I mentioned earlier, and we created a map called the Wreckbots Factory. Shout out to Maximo for being such an amazing builder. This is an example of one of his builds. This is just like first one that showed up in my watch. He is truly an amazing builder, and it's always so fun when we created together. The Wreckbot Factory ended up coming a place where I just express my creativity, and it really helped me in my creative journey to be able to play with the Maker Pen and actually create rooms that I loved and spent a lot of time in. And we're always so happy when the RecTubers who I used to idolize visited this map. So I also started playing more with my friends from the Eve Club. I really don't talk to them much anymore. Sadly, we grew apart. But if any of you guys are watching, I'm hoping y'all are doing very well. Like, Eve Foxtrot was just a really nice guy to play around. And then going on to the summer of 2024, I became a moderator in Team KNS, which I joined in late 2023. They're some of the best people I have ever worked with in Rec Room. Our founder Malefitus, you are just truly an amazing builder, one of the best builders I have seen, and one of the nicest guys in Rec Room. Miss Kitten, same for you. You are one of the best builders, the most talented builders I've seen, and one of the most nice people I've played with in Rec Room. Ocean, you are so fun to play with in Rec Royale every night, and you are just so good at managing this team. And of course, our leader, Phoenix, is just inexplicably amazing at leading our club and one of the nicest people I've played with in this game. And then, as a moderator for Team KNS, I just really loved socializing with all my friends from there. It was so nice to spend time with my friends, and eventually in around September of 2024, KNS's Circuiteer Nanato retired from Rec Room, and I took on the role as Circuiteer, which I am so grateful for that I was offered this opportunity. I'm still their Circuiteer to this date, and these are just some of the nicest people I could ever create with. So, I have a lot of friends from Team KNS who I like to work with, but we also had some changes in the club like membership. So I want to say to those who have left the club, like Shakiri, Mizu, and Phobos, who I believe are still in the club but do not create with us anymore, all the best to you. You guys are simply amazing. So my first map with Team KNS was Adorable Missy, a horror game where a monster chased you and crept up on you. And we followed this up with a sequel, Adorable Missy 2, which was a similar game where a monster will follow you and catch up on you, except it was better because the monster had the ability to jump and chase you, which just really loved. I thought that it was so fun to see this happening. And going into my portfolio here, we see I have created a lot of them with this team. Some of my favorites are the Easter Joy Quest map and Silence No Escape, which I have had less work on, but it's still such a nice map where we recently fixed it up and renovated it. And me and Maximo were still creating for the Wreckbot Factory at this point, and we sadly, at least I have stopped working on it. He still works on it, but it was nice to see that map develop as well. Going into RecCon 2024, it was an amazing experience. I had so much fun with all of my friends. 13KNS got a booth, which is amazing, and then going into 2025, late 2024, Wreckbot Factory got featured in the recording market, which I loved. So I also started to become more invested in creation and building, as I'm formerly mainly a circuiteer, and I ended up getting into the Rec Room Gallery. My first invention that got into the Rec Room Gallery was a pixel art invention, which was of Sonic. I'm getting the pixel art right now. And like right here, this is what the pixel art looked like. This took me a very long time to create, and so pleased when I got it into the gallery, because back in 2023 when I used to look at the gallery, I always used to think like I want to be in here, and it was one of my biggest dreams to have that finally happen. And then I followed this up by starting creating maps. Maps are one of my favorite things to create in this game, and here's my map of Africa. I have had 6 inventions in the gallery before, the majority of which were in fact maps. This game continued being fun for me into early 2025, and from there on out as well, but sadly, I faced my struggles in this game, such as with the bow competition, which it was incredibly glitchy, but my team and me persevered, and we created Utopia of Lights, which was a very fun map to play. I also started playing the game Wreck-Rail Squads a lot more, which is my all-time favorite game in Wreck. Sadly, good things must come to an end, and I took a sabbatical from Rec Room, a second sabbatical in late 2025 after Creations Con. And I mean the Creator Expo, and then ended up returning as this game is shutting down. So I have a few messages to share. So first up, Rec Room. I cannot begin to express how much you have changed my life. You are literally the greatest game I have played, and I've met so many of my close friends on here. All of you guys are amazing. The staff here is so well trained, and you really just have this inexplicable ability to create better than I can, better than any of us can. You guys have created a community where everyone feels safe and welcome, and just thank you so much for that. The games you've made, Golden Trophy, Jumbotron, Crimson Cauldron, Isle, Crescendo, Wreck Royale, Dodgeball, Paintball, Laser Tag, and so many more. I have had so many good memories, and like, I'm getting teared up just talking about it. Now I must give a thank you to all of my friends. So, first up, going by who's online, I need to give a thank you to my friend DQ. I've had so many good memories in Power Jams events with you, and thank you so much again for manning this camera as I speak. You are one of the funnest people I have ever played Rec Room with, especially when you're Abuelita DQ. How your events are just some of the most fun I've had in Rec Room, meeting so many people there, and playing Grek and Seek is one of my all-time best Rec Room memories. Nugget, you are just a fun guy to play with. You are extremely fun to play with, and you are the most official Nugget there could be. Teddy, I've known you for 3 years, and it's been nice knowing that as my friends in Rec Room have changed, you've stayed a constant. I've been friends with you for so long now, and you're gonna do great out there. You're a very kind person, and you always seem to know what you want to do and when that is best. Bob, I haven't seen you in a year, but I wish you all the best in your future. You are just a fun, happy-go-lucky guy. Three Speedy, you are so skilled at Rec Royale. It's always so fun to face up against you, even when I lose, and you've really fostered such an inclusive community in this game. Alexa, it was so nice having known you since 2021. You are an amazing creator, one of the best creators I know in this game, and you've always been so nice, and even when you're competitive, it still is so fun. Carson, you are just like Nugget, a fun guy to play with. I met you through a lot of mutual friends, and you lived up to everything I heard you were. Eve Foxtrot, you really fostered a community with your club, and although I am not a member of the club anymore, you shall have the best of luck in your life. I think you're going to do really well out there. Barry, it's always so fun to play with you, no matter if we're playing disc golf or Rec Royale or Quest. You are really, really good at these types of games. Chaz, it may have been a bit since I've seen you, but you were always so good at everything. You were a great quester and just overall a nice guy to be around for. You will always know when the right time is to do something. Chow Bao, you have really fostered an amazing community in Rec Royale, so thank you so much for that. Commander Wolf, you are one of the best creators I have seen, and you are really just like so good at also just being a nice guy. You are very patient. Debo, you are very fun to play with in Rec Royale, and also you are an amazing creator. When you helped us out in Utopia of Light, it was a real lifesaver there. Dynasty, you are the funniest guy I know in this game, so just keep on doing what you're doing and you will do amazing. Hacky Bear, You inspired me to get into pixel art, which led to me creating maps. So thank you so much for that. I wouldn't have been where I am creatively without you. HKR, you have created some of my favorite games in Rec Room, and it's nice knowing years after that I have put in some work, behind the scenes work on two of these games, and just knowing that you are as nice a guy as your 1.5 million subscribers says about you. Justified, I have not seen you in several years, but I still remember how nice it was playing Grec Royale with you, so best of luck in the future. Kookaburra, you're just a great guy to help out an event. When you help people out in an event, it's always so nice to see you. Krampus, you are just a fun guy with great musical taste. You have amazing musical taste, so continue listening. Macaroni, you are such a nice guy. You're an amazing moderator and the best user of the pen in Rec Royale I've ever met, so continue using that pen in the future if you can. Milcon, thank you so much for your help on Utopia of Light. You are a creator with one of, if not the best work ethics I know. Mizu, I know we haven't really worked together because you left Team KNS's creation a while ago, but I saw the club you built up, and thank you so, so, so much for that. Same for you, Shakiri. You have done the same as Mizu, and I cannot thank the two of you enough. This applies to you as well, Phobos, and I think you're going to do great out there with your graphic design. Piece of Ham, you just a nice guy to play with, and although we have gone apart a few times due to Rec Room glitches, it's been so nice to play with you. Mr. CV2, you are my oldest Rec Room friend who still plays, and it's always so nice when you hop on. You're a great circuit here and just a funny guy overall. Nanato, you found it. Team KNS with Maleficus, not founded, but you led the club for a long time, and you were the best leader we could have hoped for, along with Phoenix. Nikki Dutch, you are just so fun to play with in Rec Royale, and you're such a nice person. Org, you are an amazing creator and helped me get started on my creative journey. You truly mean, like, so much to me creatively. Pi, please play for the final 6 days of Rec Room. I really think that you were my first real Rec Room friend, and you're just an amazing guy to play Rec Room with. You and me have great memory playing PvP games together. Medieval Warfare PvP, I still remember playing with you. Relix, your games are amazing. There are some of my favorite games in Rec Room, and you are just such a nice guy, although it's been a while since I have seen you. Robbie, you are an amazing creator, and a lot of your studio work and your studio hangouts are unseen, like anything like that. Sorsa Perella, you are just a very fun person to play with. You and Nanato really helped me get into Rec Room around 2023 and creation, so thank you so much for that. Sengai, you are really good at Rec Royale, you are even better as a person. Silly Duck, you know when to speak, and when you do speak, it's powerful, so you are just a great guy. Smash Master, I love playing Rec Royale with you. I've known you for 3 years, so it's always so nice to be able to play with you, and it's so nice we have been playing a lot more together. Timmy Turner, you were one of my earliest Rec Room friends. I still remember playing with you, and wherever you are out there, I wish you the best. Tornado, aka Lumpkin5956, you are just, you're a tornado. There's not much more I have to say. You're just such a nice, friendly guy, and I love playing Rack and Seek with you. Zappy, you are such an amazing developer to this game, and you really helped kickstart me in terms of my creative journey. Of course, to Trunks and Marisa, the two of you helped me start getting into this game creatively. Trunks, you encouraged me to do the gallery, and look where I am now as a workshop host. And Marisa, your tutorials got me into creation. Of course, I need to give another shout out to my team, Team KNS. Malefitus, you are one of the nicest people I've ever met in Rec Room. You really are an amazing builder, and so nice to hear your knowledge and wisdom. Miss Kitten, you are such a good creator and builder as well, and also really good when we play games together like Rec Royale or Golden Trophy. Ocean, you are really good at a lot of the tech-based stuff behind Team KNS, so thank you so much for that. It's been nice being able to play Rec Royale with you so much. And Phoenix, you are an amazing leader for the club. We couldn't have hoped for anyone else to be our in-game leader, and I love seeing how much your creative journey has thrived. Of course, I must give a final mention to Maximo, who has been my friend 2023, and some brief technical difficulties occurred, but thank you so much to Maximo for being such a good creator, for being my closest friend on this game, and seeing how far both of us has come. And of course, thank you so much to Rec Room itself. I will miss all of you guys. Goodbye.